What's up, YouTube? This is Kim checking in for week 3 as I log my sinking funds and savings journey. And as in the previous weeks, I'll be digitally assigning my contributions here in YNAB in this video, and then I'll stuff my cash envelopes in another video. Before I get started, I wanted to show you kind of something that I hadn't shown you just yet in YNAB. So I have the actual cash. I do have my accounts here, which I think I told you about in the first video, but I do have the cash accounted for here in YNAB as well, since it's not actually in my accounts right now. And what I did was I started out with a starting balance of the $339 that I assigned in the first video. And then after I assigned that money, I did spend a little bit. So of course I spent the $27 for gas out of week 1, and also $41.95 out of groceries for week 1. I ended up putting $160 in for week 2 and assigned that money. And then I turned around and I spent a bit, which you'll see certain envelopes are empty now because I actually spent money on gifts. And in YNAB, you're able to pick multiple categories. You don't just have to pick a specific category. Like here, I picked gas and groceries. Under this gifts area, I actually picked several things that I took money from, and I put the amounts. So last week, I ended up putting $33 into birthdays. I went ahead and spent that. And then I also, at the beginning of the month, put $5 in each of the shopping, Amazon, and Target envelopes. And I spent those amounts as well for the birthdays, the gifts that I ended up getting for week 2. So that's how you break that $48 down, and I can identify which envelopes I pulled it from. So for lack of a better way to think of this area, this is sort of like a check registry, just keeping track of everything that I put in and everything that I took out. Okay, so for week 2, I did spend, again, in addition to the $48 for gifts, I spent $31 on gas. And then I also spent $45.02 on groceries. Now, for week 3, I'm actually going to be assigning $204. So that's where the $204 is coming from over in my budget that is ready to be assigned. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to show you that piece so that you know kind of how I keep everything straight with what's coming in and going out. But I also wanted to point out, in addition to the $204 that I have ready to assign, you will notice here in my savings challenge area that I have gone ahead and added additional savings challenges to this section. So I use a savings challenge workbook, and because I use that workbook, I actually have additional savings challenges that I'm going to be contributing money to. So I just wanted to point that out. I want to kind of go through them a little bit just so that you understand what each of them are. So of course, you already knew that I was participating in the 52-week savings challenge and the $10 savings challenge, as well as the penny savings challenge, right? I had already added the nickel savings challenge, even though I'm not quite ready to start participating in that one just yet. I wanted it on my radar just in case I do start contributing to that one. So, as well as the 100 envelope savings challenge. So those two sort of yield fairly decent overall contribution amounts over the course of a year. So I wasn't quite ready to dip my toe into either one of those just yet. I want to, because I'm focusing on so many other challenges, just focus on those. But I wanted you to see all of those challenges. So one of them is the 50-week Christmas savings challenge. You haven't seen this one before now in this way. So it wasn't actually listed as a savings challenge. I actually had it as one of my sinking funds envelopes. So I had a sinking funds envelope called Christmas. What I've done is I've eliminated that envelope from my sinking funds binder, and I've gone ahead and put it as my 50-week Christmas savings challenge envelope in my savings challenge binder, which you'll see in the next video. So why it's called 50-week Christmas savings challenge is because I wanted to save money up through the first 50 weeks of the year to give myself a chance to start doing shopping the last 2 weeks of the year. Okay, so that's why it's the 50-week Christmas savings challenge. Okay, now I may not be making regular deposits or contributions into that particular savings challenge envelope, because as I mentioned before, I was going to be doing $10 monthly. And so I've gone ahead and moved the money from the Christmas envelope over to the Christmas sinking funds envelope over to this savings challenge. Okay. Same thing with this I Deserve the World savings challenge. So this challenge is a challenge designed to allow me to set aside money to prepare for travel. And of course, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I was setting aside a specific amount for vacation. So I had a vacation sinking funds envelope. I've eliminated that envelope from my sinking funds binder as well, and I've gone ahead and added it to my savings challenge binder. So again, it's called I Deserve the World because I do deserve the world. So I'm gonna go ahead and I've already moved the $10 that I had set aside for my vacation sinking funds over to this binder. Okay, now a new one that you haven't seen is the Generational Wealth Savings Challenge, and what that is it's a way for me to set aside a bit more money than what I already invest towards investing. So I'll find money here or there that I can actually use to start making small investments. I use a couple of apps, but I use Stash for sure. And Stash allows you to make investments of really small amounts, whatever you deem appropriate or necessary, whatever you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to go ahead and just find ways to set aside some monies to start making some more investments this year. Now, I don't know yet whether I'm going to be making those investments throughout the year or whether I'll just go ahead and gather up my savings for this particular savings challenge and then actually invest later in the year. I'll figure that out once I start seeing what those amounts are looking like, but I do have that on my radar, just so you'll know. Now, I'm not going to say this one because I have not turned her off right now and I don't want her to respond. But I do have this particular savings challenge, which is where I will ask her to pick a number between whatever and whatever. And whatever number she calls out will be the amount that I set aside. And so I'll be asking her numbers based on what I know I have available and feel comfortable with her picking a number from. Okay, so I'll do that here in this video. I'll ask her for a number and then I'll let her decide what I'm going to be saving. From there, I'll determine what amount I'm going to be putting in the Pampering Ain't Easy savings challenge. So Pampering Ain't Easy is my savings challenge for me to set aside money to do something special for myself, whether it be get my nails done, get my hair done, buy myself a new pair of shoes, a dress, or whatever. I wanted to just have a way to make it fun to set aside money and have a specific focus. So you'll see that savings challenge being saved for, as well as the Just Between Friends savings challenge, which is a challenge for me to set aside money to do something special with my friends, whether that be going to brunch, happy hour after work, spa day, whatever. Just setting aside some money to be able to focus on doing some things with my girls. So those are the different savings challenges I'll be focused on. Again, the nickel savings challenge and the 100 envelope savings challenge are on the back burner for right now, but all the rest of them I do plan on putting some money aside for. So I just wanted to be sure to explain all of that. And in the physical cash stuffing video, I will show you my workbook that I work from with the savings challenges in them so that you'll kind of see where I'm getting all this from. But without further ado, let's do this. Okay, so I want to get started with the sinking funds rather than the savings challenges. I want to save those for later. So we're going to go to the sinking funds category, and I want to start by moving a little bit of this grocery money to gas. So as you saw, I give myself a $25 weekly allowance for gas, but each week so far I've gone over, which was to be expected. I had already known that that's kind of customarily what's been happening. So the first week I spent $27. The second week I spent $31. Both of those amounts were over the $25. So I just like having a bit of a cushion there just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and take this grocery amount down to, if you watched my previous videos, you noticed that I give myself $50 each week to spend on groceries. But for the month of January, I added a $5 buffer. So I just want to take this down to the $5.03. So I'm going to go ahead and move $5 to gas, leaving groceries at $5 and putting gas at $35. All right, so those are the amounts that I'm starting out with. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my $50 weekly gas, or $50 weekly grocery amount. That's a tongue twister. $50 weekly grocery allowance there. So that will leave me with $55.03. Now, I have not touched the $10 in household or the $20 in dining out, and I hope not to for the month of January, but we will see. I'll move on to gas, and I'll add the $25 that I normally give myself each week. So that will put me at $60 there. Now, all of these envelopes are empty at this point because, of course, I had the gifts to purchase. So for birthdays, I'm going to take that back up to the $10 that I started out with for the month. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the $5 back for each of these additional categories: shopping, Amazon, and Target. Okay. All right. So by the time I'm done with my sinking funds binder, I should have $10 in household, $55.03 in groceries, $20 in dining out, $60 in gas, $10 for birthdays, $5 for shopping, $5 for Amazon, and $5 for Target. Okay, so on to the savings challenges. For the savings challenges, of course, for week 1, since I started the 52-week savings challenge backwards, I put in $52 for week 1, $51 for week 2. So week 3 is going to be $50. For the $10 savings challenge, I'm going to put my $10 in for the week. And for the penny savings challenge, I only need to put in $1. So, of course, for the penny savings challenge, for the month of January, I needed to set aside $4.96. I went ahead and decided to round that up to an even $5. So for this week, I'll be adding $1, which will put me at $4. Next week, being the last week of this month, I'll put in the last dollar, and that will give me that $5. For the nickel savings challenge, of course, we're going to skip that one, and we're also going to skip the 100 envelope savings challenge. For the 50-week Christmas savings challenge, I'm only putting $10 in each month, and of course, it still has the $10 that I put in for the month of January, so I'm good there. And I'm also good for the I Deserve the World savings challenge because I've been putting in $10 for my vacation travel fund, and it still has that $10 for the month of January as well. Now, for the Generational Wealth Savings Challenge, the Pampering Ain't Easy Savings Challenge, and the Just Between Friends Savings Challenges, those amounts are going to be determined by what number is selected by her. And then whatever number is selected by her, because I only have $43 left, is going to determine how much I put in each of those other savings challenges. So because I only have the $3 bills, I can't afford for her to pick the numbers 4 or 9 because I literally only have those 3 $1 bills. Everything else is a larger bill. So I need her to pick a number. I think I would feel comfortable with her picking a number between 1 and 13, but I just don't want her to pick 4 or 9. So let's see if I can ask her to do that and she actually understand what I need. All right. So let's try this. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 3, but not 4 or 9.
Your random number between 1 and 3 is 3.
Oh, I said that all wrong. Sorry, y'all. I said 1 and 3. I meant 1 and 13. Let's try this one more time. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 13, but not 4 or 9.
This might answer your question. Here's a number between 1 and 13. It's 10.
Nice. Okay, so she said 10. So we're going to put $10 towards, I don't know why I said 1 and 3 the first time. That was so weird. And I'm surprised she didn't call me on it because how could she pick 4 or 9 out of 1 and 3? That just didn't make any sense. But okay, so $10 is what I feel comfortable setting aside for Pampering Ain't Easy. And I'll also set aside $10 for the Just Between Friends. So as you can see, I have $13 left to assign. So I'll go ahead and put $13 towards my generational wealth savings challenge. So that'll give me $13 to invest whenever it's time. So all monies have been assigned and we are good to go. If you've appreciated this video, and especially because on the front end I did show you a little bit more about YNAB and how I keep track of what I put in and also spend and take out, definitely give me a thumbs up. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your support in every way. If you're interested in trying YNAB for yourself, don't hesitate to do that. Go ahead and get started now. You get the 34-day free trial that they already offer. If you are willing to use my link, we both can earn a free month. So in addition to the 34-day free trial that they give you, you also could earn a free month, and then I could earn a free month. So you feel free to use my link below in the description box, and I will see you all in the next video where I'll be physically cash stuffing the envelopes, and also I'll show you my savings challenge workbook. See you there.